Welcome back to Bat Fridays here on One Comic Book a Day, where we're covering Batman 15 and the third story, The Two Futures, a propaganda issue, a World War II propaganda issue, that is like the most excited I've been to talk about a comic since starting this, maybe? I don't know, this might be one of the most interesting comics I have covered in the Golden Age. I'm not sure that I like the comic, but I kind of respect how dark it got, especially one of the excuses I constantly get from people who defend some of these stories I didn't like is, well, it's written for children. It's all just family friendly and shouldn't have a story. It's just good old fashioned fun. I don't know why I'm being sort of insulting with that. That's a fine argument to make. It's not why I'm covering this or what I want from the stories. And if you don't like that, you don't have to watch these videos. But the story is surprisingly dark. Like, you can't make that excuse for this issue. My God. Now, first of all, this is actually like the first propaganda piece in Batman we've covered. Superman had quite a few propaganda pieces if you've been watching the Superman videos. A lot of the Superman propaganda World War II issues involved Superman working or helping out a different branch of the armed forces and mainly making an argument about how great the American fighting spirit is and that we can't be defeated by anyone because of this fighting spirit. Though they never did a Marines issue, if I remember correctly. There was also other issues. I think my favorite is that one where it's legitimately Hitler and he gets possessed by that weird thing that's not a gremlin. I forget what they were called, but he got possessed at the end, which is something they never resolved in any way. So I guess the Hitler that committed suicide in the DC universe was possessed by something that wasn't a gremlin, but was gremlin and adjacent? Man, they really don't want me thinking about that. But the Two Futures is kind of a different animal, and probably a more effective propaganda piece. So Batman and Robin go to Gotham University, where they meet Professor Rayner, who's like this huge, popular, famous historian, and his colleagues, Professors Pros and Cons, or was it Professor Pro and Con? One of the two. And they are going to predict the future, which is not exactly what historians do. The whole point of learning history is so you learn from history's past mistakes so we don't make the same mistakes again. Unless you're a nation that doesn't want to deal with its past mistakes, want to just claim you're really great, and the white supremacists taking over don't want anybody to learn about that under the guise of it hurts kids' feelings. Something that any other time they don't complain about and constantly complain that we're snowflakes for, and then start making the exact same mistakes. Because like a nation that sees itself perfect and starts electing white nationalist leaders always ends well, right? I can't really read a history book anymore. They keep trying to throw them out of the libraries. So I'm going to assume that goes well and doesn't end badly for the people or the people in charge historically over and over and over again. But I digress. Here they're more or less predicting the future more like a fortune teller, and 2/3 of the story follows one future, and then the final third of the story follows a different future, and that one's really truncated and rushed through. Like I said, I don't think the comic 100% works. So in this other feature, it's more of an excuse for Batman to fight Nazis, even though Nazi spies and stuff were something that were happening in a lot of other comics. Superman was fighting the Fourth Column, which was an unnamed European power that we were at war with, attacking America through espionage. But no, we have Axis powers, mainly Nazis, but we do get to see a racist depiction of a Japanese man, which they love to do in comics at this time. We do see more in the next story, too. Gothamites are put in a concentration camp, and they literally call it a concentration camp, and we get to see Batman sort of save people from a concentration camp and punch some Nazis, which part of me is really happy to see. There is the sort of the hero lover in me that wants to see Batman just completely take out Nazis and save an entire concentration camp. At the same time, I contain multitudes and feel like there's something disrespectful about the idea of your cartoon guy who dresses up like a bat going into a concentration camp and saving everybody. Ugh. That's what the comic is for two-thirds. Batman and Robin saving people in a concentration camp and punching out Nazis. So how you feel about that is about how you're going to feel about this comic for the most part. As I said, there is a last third of the comic. There are also some really interesting, fun moments, like Robin knocking out a Nazi soldier with a rifle, saying, "Sorry, I thought you were Adolf." Just a hell of a line in there. And Batman getting defeated by his greatest weakness of the Golden Age, being bonked in the back of the head. But where this story really gets dark, is at the end, after getting everybody out of the concentration camp, or a lot of people out of the concentration camp. I don't know for sure if he got everybody out of the concentration camp. Batman and Robin jump off the vehicle so it can get away, and they stop their chasers. This part of the story ends with Batman and Robin standing in front of a Nazi firing squad. So it ends with the idea that Batman and Robin are getting executed. Oh my god. Concentration camps and Batman and Robin getting executed. What an amazingly dark thing this 1940s comic just threw at me. Batman and Robin aren't happy about this story. I can't imagine why. But then they tell of a different future, which is the future where we win. And this is especially the propaganda piece about how Americans have to sacrifice, and every American's going to have to do their part to fight for us to win. Isn't that how historians work? I know I've already complained about this, but this is not how historians work. The comic then ends on something that's way more propaganda-y than the Superman comics even get, where Batman and Robin, to show their commitment to the fighting, they buy war bonds and donate to salvage, which we all should be doing to help the war effort. So once again, a more effective propaganda piece. It's actually showing us what you should do and what the consequences of not doing it. Like, in a way, as a propaganda piece, it entirely functions. As a story, it's not much of a story. I honestly don't know where I sit with it. It's just a really fascinating comic that goes places, and I respect where it goes, that I think it's worth reading. I guess I'll recommend The Two Futures. That is it from Batman 15 Two Futures. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Hit the bell icon to get notifications when a new video is up. I do this Monday through Friday. But Mondays and Thursdays, I cover a Superman story in either Superman or Action Comics. And please join us next time. Same Bat Day, same comic book channel. Have a great day.